Hey there, welcome back to episode 4 of Gamble Ramble. I'm Kris Gamble from Customised. We're a Norfolk-based smart home company covering East Anglia and London. On episode 4 today, I would like to highlight things that you should demand from your Home Tech Pro. Things that often get missed in the handover of all the technology, all the fun stuff, all the techie stuff, all the nerdy stuff, apps, logins, passwords, things that you really need to know about your home technology installation. First thing you should be looking for is paperwork, documentation, drawings, anything that was produced for your project that might show cable layouts, the locations of equipment, what equipment was supplied, where are things powered, where might cable be routed, and what was actually installed. Did you get what you paid for? With the cabling, you should be looking for test results, verification that the cables are present at any wiring hubs. You should be inquiring if anything is showing up as a fail. Why was it a failed cable? Can it be repaired? These are often things that get missed out during the construction project or any kind of refurbishment work that you're doing. You just assume that everything's going to work. You've paid for a lot of cabling to go into the house, whether it's for speakers, whether it's for internet connections, TV connections, security devices. You want to know that that cable has been installed correctly and there's evidence that that cable is going to work today and in the future. Location of equipment is important, especially if you have a fault with an item and you need to verify, does a device have power? Has a cable become dislodged? Or you have another provider at the property that needs to get access to the internet router where the incoming fiber or telephone cable comes in. There might be a hub that's needed for the heating system, and your plumber or your heating engineer needs to turn that off or do some work on the system and add a device, for example. So knowing where your equipment is located, and that could be in an obvious place, like on a tabletop in the study, that might be where your router is. Under the stairs cupboard, there might be an obvious place that's got a lot of wiring, but there might be things up in the loft, like television aerial distribution amplifiers. That might be the location where your CCTV recorder is. Do you know where the equipment is in your home? And that could be that you're needing that information to ask another home technology pro to do work in your house. If you have that documentation, then you'll know uh, where to guide them, where the equipment is. They're not maybe then going to charge you for a discovery session where it's quite typical if we take over a project or an existing technology installation, we might have to spend several hours going through that property, finding out where equipment is, documenting the brands, the model numbers. We might have to retest a lot of the cabling because we've got no evidence that the cable was tested in the first place. And then when you know where this equipment is, and you can see that it might be well presented in year one, but if things start to get messy, identify that, yeah, this doesn't look tidy. We've added another box. Maybe Sky TV have been in or BT have been in and they've messed around with the wiring. You should try and get your Home Tech Pro back for a spring clean. Tidy up those cables. We don't want any stray wires. Just check over everything whilst they're there. Insist that they run through any updates that are needed on the Wi-Fi system, on the TV system, on your remote controls, on your security systems. Now, things might be auto-updating, but know that some things do need an update and ask for those. If you don't have a maintenance agreement with your home technology professional and it's just pay as you go, which is absolutely fine, but put something in the diary. Maybe they're not as proactive at scheduling that in. So just put it in your diary that you want a check before the winter. That could include cleaning cameras, that could include tidying up any loose cabling, making sure the TVs are ready for lots more viewing of films, listening of music, and you might be using your alarm system, your intruder alarm system, so that you can set it for going away for 2 or 3 weeks. So again, just that pre-holiday check is important, and making sure that your system's running at an optimized level before it gets some heavy usage. And then finally, on your system, you've got to know your way around it. You've got to know where you can set scenes, schedules, how to view cameras, how to make minor adjustments to things like maybe adjust the motion sensitivity. Maybe it's to create a routine on a voice assistant. You need to be comfortable navigating around your smart home system. And if you aren't, again, bring back the Home Tech Pro, ask them for a follow-up session, which I'm sure in a lot of cases would be complimentary, especially if it's a more recent installation. Or you bundle it in with your annual maintenance visit where you're doing those updates, but you're also getting a refresher on, like I say, creating lighting scenes, adding a playlist to your music system. Maybe you've subscribed to a new TV or music service. You want to get that onto other TVs or make sure it's working through your music system. And that just continues that dialogue with the Home Tech Pro. I think that's vital for things to run smoothly in the days and weeks ahead for your home. You want to proactively limit issues, and maintenance, a regular dialogue, and regularly using your system will highlight if there's things that need fine-tuned. So reach out to your Home Tech Pro. Again, we cover the east of England, Norfolk, Suffolk, and also London as well. So if you're looking for a Home Tech Pro, customised.uk.com, that's us. If there's things you want us to discuss on Gamble Ramble, on the podcast, please leave a comment on wherever you're viewing or listening to this. And if you're enjoying it, like it, share it, pass it on to a friend. We would really appreciate that. So stay tuned for episode 5 next week of Gamble Ramble. I've been Kris Gamble from Customised. Thanks for watching.